and chat with us. We're actually going to start by talking about burnout versus depression, which sounds a little bit depressing, but it's the time of year when everyone, I think, is feeling a little bit burnt out.
Yes.
So do we want to start by, hey, everybody, do you want to start by, Dom, a general definition? What is burnout?
Okay, so we've got lots of different ways of thinking about burnout, because we've got the more general version, which is where your system is running in chronic stress. Our systems are designed to have acute stress that then calms back down again, but a lot of us are running with chronic stress at the moment. And literally, it's both physical and mental burnout related to that. A big part of it is you need to complete the stress cycle. So actually dealing with what's causing the stress, but then also being aware of its impact.
You need to complete the stress cycle?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So what that is about where the stress gotten stuck in your body. But then we're also looking at burnout. You know, we're here to decrease the stigma and provide information about neurodiversity and the differences. And there is a difference in neurodiversity, neurodivergent burnout as versus the more generalized burnout. And then particularly if you've got both on top of each other, wow. But so
you want to start with general burnout?
Yes. So general burnout's much more about the physiology of having your system. Hey, thank you. Is having your physiology stuck in that chronic stress state, and needing to both respond to whatever's causing the stress, but also then looking at what your body needs from a physiological perspective. There's an absolutely awesome book on this called Burnout. Whereas it just needs to be joyful movement, whatever
like
brings
dancing.
you joy. Dancing, yes.
Walking. I like
if that's what brings you joy. But then neurodivergent burnout, big difference. This is where you've really got that brain strain happening, and where you're going to, you get into that spiral where because of burnout, and I'm talking more about, both this ADHD and autism, but you're going to see your neurodivergent traits get worse as you get burnt out. And then, of course, everything spirals even more because you're struggling then more with your executive functioning or your sensory sensitivities or social differences. And, first thing is identifying it, becoming aware. And then having a look at what strategies work for you and your brain.
What does burnout look like?
For neurodivergent burnout, it looks like a real drop in functioning to the point. And look, I had a very serious episode of burnout about 10 years ago, and I could not actually make decisions for myself as to the level of even being able to choose food to eat. So
did you just bed rot?
I had to actually rest for months.
Bed rotted for months.
And it was, I was literally standing in the supermarket for, a long period of time without buying a single thing because I literally could not choose a product in the supermarket.
It's serious.
So if burnout is allowed to get severe enough, it can be incredibly disabling, and the more burnt out you get, the longer it's going to take. If we're looking at the difference between burnout and depression, burnout takes a lot longer to recover.
Jane has commented, and we loved you, Jane, so much. I've been struggling badly from burnout recently due to trauma and ADHD. And like Dr. Dom's just said, burnout with neurodiverse people is very different. I don't know how to stop. Now, remember that we don't give personal advice, but Dom can talk about things.
So I've got a little bit of a list of, what can we be doing? So picking out burnout early, identifying it, acknowledging that that's what's going on.
So clap that you've done that. Yes, Jane. And
then having a look at what is it that your brain needs. So, decreasing sensory input where it's possible. I've been able to now, and the more I do it, the more my brain's getting engaged of, okay, this is our recovery time, is just going somewhere where I can really drop the sensory input. If it's a darkened room, if that's available, toilets, if you're out and about. How many of us go and spend a little bit of quiet time in that cubicle?
It's so creepy that I do that.
But if it works, if that's your space where you can just go and sit there for it, where you're not having to socially interact, decrease the sensory input, and just remind your brain, this is our time to just kind of, charge down. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time. Then you can have a look at what are the sensory things. You know, if sensory sensitivities are making you feel worse, what are the sensory things that can actually make you feel a bit better?
Or the social things.
Or the social things if they're available. But
because I feel like
blankets.
social
I'm
burnout.
a huge fan
of weighted blankets. I love a weighted blanket.
Some people love them, some people don't.
Love a weighted blanket.
Temperature, you might need, some people are, you know, it's very much about bringing their temperature down or bringing it up, whatever. Sleeping a lot, it's rest.
So yeah, Jane's saying I've been sleeping a lot.
If it's available to you, the thing that's most going to help burnout is rest. And,
Chris, absolutely safe space to everyone.
And shameless rest.
Shameless rest. So nobody, I don't want to see a damn person calling themselves lazy or anybody else lazy. If you are suffering from chronic burnout, sleep.
Yes.
If you get to sleep all day, Jane, sleep all day.
If you've got, you know, if you've got pneumonia, if you've got a broken leg, everyone, oh, you have to rest it. Oh, of course.
Yes.
You know, they'll actually look at you and tell you off if you're not resting. It's that much more difficult when it's your brain and it's not as visible.
And it's not as understood. And people are like, why doesn't she just get up? Yeah. Why don't you just get out of bed?
And that's not, you know,
why don't you just go outside?
Yeah.
Why don't you just shut up?
Yes, please. One of the other big ones is
it just hard not to feel lazy,
yes.
but you're not being lazy when you're taking care of yourself.
And look, I like the idea of reminding yourself that it's your brain that's burnt out, and then you can start to take care of your brain the same way you would take care of another person.
Exactly.
For some reason, humans, particularly female humans, find it much easier to take care of other people than we do to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you think of your brain almost as, okay, what does my brain need right now?
Yeah, Jane is not lazy. No.
One of my other favourites is smell. This works for some people, not for other people.
I love it.
It's got a really cool neurological basis. So your orbitofrontal cortex is sitting just in behind your eyes there. And it's very strong on scent and it's, you know, smell, but it's also a big part of your emotional processing.
Lemongrass.
So that's where it's whatever smells work for you. Some, you know, different people will have different kind of emotional responses to them. They're actually trialling lavender for PTSD in Melbourne
really?
at the moment, doing a randomised control trial.